Hey everyone, Automotive Jesus here. It's springtime, and you know what that means. Time to start mowing the grass. Ain't nobody got time for that. Well, actually I do. So, we got a cool project for you today, and I'm going to show you what we got. It's this bad boy right here. Super cool Craftsman 25 horsepower GT 5000 riding mower. Pretty sweet. I bought this kit online. It's a Kohler tune-up kit. I'm going to be showing you guys the unboxing and how to actually perform this service. Pretty fun. So I don't really want to work on it right here in the spot. It's kind of cramped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it over there somewhere and get to work on it. So let's see if this thing's going to fire up. Let's turn the key on. Battery's probably dead. Choke. Uh-oh. Full throttle. All right, here we are. Craftsman GT 5000 mower. Let's get started on this thing. Take this, open that up. It's a little dusty, no big deal. All right, so immediately I already see oil filter's pretty easy to get to. Fuel filter looks easy to get to. And I see one spark plug wire here. And I see the other one right there. So those look pretty easy. I don't know what else is in the kit, so let's open it up and check it out. Okay, now I got my kit and I'm on my knee pad here. Let's open this baby up and see what's in there. It's like Christmas. All right. Fuel filter. Oil filter. Pro performance. That's when you know it's good. Air filter with a foam and paper. That's cool. Spark plugs. Cool. What is this? To install blood. We don't need that. Okay, here we go. Some oil. And that looks like it. Cool. Let's move on. All right, just kidding about the instructions. You probably will need these if you don't know what you're doing. Gives you a nice step-by-step on how to do stuff. But another important thing is the spark plug gap. You always want to check that before you throw spark plugs in. So I have two different gap settings here. This thing is a little warm. I'm going to go ahead and drain the oil first. That's going to be the first thing I do. Like I said, this is the oil filter here. On the instructions there said there was two drain plugs. So there is one, I believe, is right here. And if I go to the other side, I'm thinking that this right in here, you can probably hardly see it, but it's covered in gunk. That, I think, is another drain. So I'm gonna try this one first and we'll see what happens. All right, there's the drain valve. See, I got this cap off already. Pretty sweet. And it looks like you just turn it. You just turn it by hand and it goes. So let's see what happens. Yeah, easier said than done. That's for sure. It's a little tight, so let's try some pliers. turned it, and it should pop out, and there it goes. Draining away. Yum. Alright, so I have that draining. One thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to loosen this cap. Just to give it a little more flow, make it easier to get out of there. So cool. Alright. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tack the spark plugs since I'm right here. Why not just give it a shot? So let's, these sometimes will get kind of stuck on there just from the heating and cooling. They kind of get stuck to the insulator on the spark plug. So what I do is I'll give them a little wiggle just to make sure they're free, and then you basically just wiggle and pull, and it comes right off like that. Okay, spark plug socket, ratchet. Oh, that looks delicious, doesn't it? Oh yeah. If you'll notice, it's pretty black there at the top and the tip. Pretty cool. Let's put the new ones in. Bing! Pretty. You can see here I have my torque wrench to 20 foot-pounds. Let's torque this. Make sure you put this on. I'm going to put a little dielectric grease in there. You don't need a whole lot. About that'll do ya. And basically what you want to do with this is you kind of want to spread it around. Like spread it around a little bit in there. I'm just using the other spark plug. And what this does is help keep moisture and things like that, grime, all that out of your boot. Also acts as an insulator, a second insulator, and also it helps remove this boot at a later time. So it's easy to take off for the next tune-up. Okay, that's pretty close to being done draining. Alright, now that it's done draining, time to plug it up. So what you do is slide that forward, or up, and then you just give it a little twist. Alright, I think that's it. Just double check to make sure it's in the detent there. See that where my pliers are? As long as it's locked in there, we should be good to go. And since it's spilled onto the cross member here, and oops, it fell down here too. So now I'm going to have to clean the driveway a little bit, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray some brake clean on here, get it all cleaned up. There we go, nice and clean. Alright, oil filter right here. Usually these are just hand tight, so let's see how. Oh, actually that was actually super easy. Make sure you have your drain pan down here. Alright, and let's unscrew this and see what happens. Here, coming out, right into the drain pan. Keep unscrewing, but keep a firm grip on it because it will just fall off. There we go. Flip it this way. Ooh, yum. Set it in your drain pan. Grab your new filter. Don't forget it has to be a Pro Performance. Put a little oil. Just grab it off of where you just took off the filter. Make sure you lube this gasket up. That will make it easier to take off at another date. And these just screw right on. Hand tight. about 2/3 of a turn after it starts to get snug. It's usually pretty good. So now that the oil filter's on, let's go ahead and do the fuel filter. Yeah, okay, I'll show you guys how to do that. One thing I want to note is on the new one, you'll notice this little arrow right here. That is the direction of flow. The fuel needs to flow only one way through this. It's the only way it works. You can put it backwards and it might work, but the filtration won't be the same. So what you want to do is you want to look at your old fuel filter and see if there's an arrow already on it, which mine does. Has an arrow. Okay, it's pointing this way. So I need to make sure I put it the same direction so they both match, and then we'll be good to go. And if you don't have an arrow on your filter, maybe it worn off or something like that, just physically look at where the fuel tank is. So follow your line all the way back, see which one goes to the motor and see which one goes to your fuel tank, and that will tell you the direction. This one just has 2 clamps. Grab the clamp here, move it back. Same one here. Alright. Now the clamps are off. Make sure you have your drain pan underneath. You need your drain pan because there's some fuel spilling everywhere. Take it off the engine side first. Gonna twist and pull. Should come off pretty easy. And there it goes. And it's probably gonna keep coming out of the tank side. So you wanna be careful of that. So I'm gonna plug it. Okay. And what I'm gonna do is a quick swap. You could just plug this with your finger, and here we go. Yum, smells so good. Other side. There we go. Arrow going the right direction, and I'll put my clamps on. Bam, fuel filter done. Okay, afterthought. These tools here, these are hose pinch-off pliers. You can use those if you have them available. They have come in different shapes and sizes, but I can just clamp this line. And what that's going to do is it's going to stop the flow. And I just split the line. Well, that was unfortunate, wasn't it? Oh well, stuff happens. Although I have to think, if I wasn't making a video, if that actually would have happened. But it's a future failure, in my opinion. That line was deteriorating from the inside. So now I need to run to the parts store and buy some more fuel line. So stay tuned for part 2 of this series. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. I got a lot more coming. So see you in part 2.